Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? So, today we're going to be talking about Britney Spears. So, let's get into it. All right. So, guys, the Neighborhood Talk recently um, dropped an article, and shout out to the Neighborhood Talk, fair use for fair use. About Britney Spears, stating that allegedly Britney might be in danger of going broke. So let's get into this article and then I'll tell you, how I feel about it. So the article says it's no secret that Britney Spears has been living pretty freely since her conservatorship was ended, but Britney may need someone to step in because she is apparently burning through her coins. It says, according to TMZ, sources told the site that Britney had about $60 million in the bank when her conservatorship ended, but that number has significantly dropped due to her excessive spending habits. Let's see what they said Britney is spending her money on. They said she's frequently visiting the French Polynesian and stays at the Brando. Says she drops about $1 million from private jets, hotel staff, etc. And then it says that she goes about every 2 months. Then it says, we're told she also goes to Hawaii almost monthly by herself, taking a private jet, staying in the presidential suite at the Four Seasons, and dropping $350K a trip. Sources also told the site her mental health is completely dysfunctional and that her behavior is apparently up and down to the point it's shocking. So just to examine, let's look at this. It says she frequently visits the French Polynesia. And they're saying that she goes there about every 2 months. But then they also say that she's in Hawaii almost monthly. So what is she? In French Polynesia 1 month and then in Hawaii the next. Then they're saying she's staying at the Brando. And in the French Polynesia, and then they're saying in Hawaii she's staying in the presidential suite at the Four Seasons. She's Britney Spears. What are you expecting her to stay at the Best Western? I mean, make it make sense. And then it says she's spending money on private jets, hotels, staff. I mean, she can't get on Spirit Airlines. Come on. She's Britney Spears. I mean, she could, but she's a celebrity. That's the point that I'm making. So, the amount of money that she appears to be spending on trips, in my opinion, is the kind of money that celebrities of her caliber typically spend on a trip. And, as far as I'm talking about her mental health and it being completely dysfunctional, where are the receipts? Which brings me to the title of this video. Is Britney going broke, or is she just out here living her best life? But before we go too far, I do have another article that I want to share with you guys. Because personally, I don't feel like she's doing anything out of the ordinary of any other celebrity, to be completely honest. But it did make me want to dig into her net worth and see exactly what kind of money she was dealing with. So give me 1 second and we're gonna get into this next article. I just want to say shout out to the Cosmopolitan for this tea. Fair use, fair use. In this article, it says Britney Spears finally has control of her own money and her net worth is huge. She earned it and now she gets to spend it. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that this article was published February 23rd of 2024. And I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. It says in 2021, Britney Spears was finally freed from her conservatorship, which meant that after more than 13 years, she now had more control over her money that she made. And due to being a talented icon and a super hard worker, she has, well, pretty much an entire fortune. Now keep in mind, this was in February. What was that? 2-3 months ago? But I'll continue. So what is Britney's total net worth? We're about to get into it, but just FYI, her assets would actually be higher if she hadn't been forced to incur so many legal fees throughout her conservatorship battle. For example, The New Yorker reported that Britney had to cover her former lawyer Sam Ingram's annual salary of $520,000, while along with her own living expenses in 2019, which were $438K. If that sounds wild to you, it's because it is. It should also be noted that the New York Times said Britney's dad, Jamie Spears, paid himself a salary of about $16,000 per month plus $2,000 a month for office space and got a percentage of Britney's deals. An example, in 2011, Jamie got 1.5% of gross revenues from his daughter's Piece of Me residency in Vegas. With all that said, let's dig into the money specifics. Okay, so let's see. Let's get into this, you guys. Let's dig a little deeper. It says Britney's finances during her conservatorship. While Britney earned a lot of money in the early parts of her conservatorship, including $40 million from touring and record sales in 2002, an insider on her team told The New Yorker that she was down to just a few $1,000,000 when her conservatorship was established. While that sum grew during the time Britney was under the conservatorship, she apparently had very little access to her own money. This was especially messed up because she was working a ton during that time, releasing 4 albums along with doing a Vegas residency that reportedly paid $300,000 per night, plus another $35 million when the deal was extended, and going on a tour that grossed $131 million. She also judged the season of The X Factor, which paid her $15 million, while Forbes reported that she earned a whopping $34 million in 2017. That girl made some money. But her conservators, including Jamie, had primary control of all this. The New York Times reported that Britney was given a $2,000 per week allowance, despite the fact that she was earning millions. Now, I just want to repeat that. Now, y'all just heard all that money that Britney was bringing in, and her dad was only giving her an allowance of $2,000 per week. Now that's wild. And then this article goes on to talk about her divorce from her last husband, which I'm not really that interested in, but I did want to come back down here where they start talking about her money again. And it says the New York Times claims that Britney has a fortune of about 60 million, while Celebrity Net Worth claims she has more like 70 million in the bank. Either way, she's sitting on a lot of money. And here's the great news. In January 2022, a judge ruled that Britney will have full control over her own finances henceforth, and she will not have to pay her father's legal fees, as she should not have been. So I know that I was one of the many people that was happy, when she won her court case to have that conservatorship removed, because that was just ridiculous. She's making multi-millions of dollars and only given a allowance of $2,000. That's ridiculous. So to further back up my claim that I believe that Britney is fine and just out here living her best life, and in her YOLO era, I found this other article on InStyle. Shout out to InStyle, fair use, fair use. So this article was published November 4th of 2023. And it says Britney Spears celebrated every holiday at once in a cutout red gown. And there Britney is, looking beautiful in her home. It says New York Times, best-selling author Britney Spears has plenty to celebrate, selling 1.1 million copies of her memoir, The Woman in Me, is just one reason. And it looks like the superstar singer is closing out all of 2023's holidays with just one Instagram post. Spears' latest clip. She's become beloved for her impromptu dancing videos on the platform, which shows her in a super sexy asymmetrical cutout gown as she wishes all her followers, all 42.5 million of them, a happy Christmas, Halloween, New Year, and Thanksgiving. The clip shows Spears in her home and ready for the winter holidays, in addition to her festive red dress, which had one long sleeve and a super high slit, as well as a huge cutout over her abdomen. Her Christmas tree was on display in the background. Merry Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, Spears wrote alongside the clip. People notes that Spears' latest video comes after her memoir sold 1.1 million copies in its first week of sales, which includes pre-orders, ebooks, print books, and audiobooks. I poured my heart and soul into my memoir, and I am grateful to my fans and readers around the world for their unwavering support, Spears said earlier this week. So this is Britney's book. So alongside of all the money that Britney Spears had once her conservatorship ended, she also released a book, a best-selling book at that, guys. And in that book in itself sold, what was it, 1.1 million in the first week. So with all that being said, I'm having a hard time believing that Britney is going broke. I think that this is people, somebody within, the industry that's trying to spin a narrative about her. And I want people to leave this woman alone and let her live her life and spend her millions. So with that being said, my position is she's not going broke. I think Britney is just out here living her best life. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching.